Hello and welcome to HMG Spotlight interview with Shannon Gath, the CIO of Teradyne, HMG 2023 Global Leadership Institute Mid-Cap Award recipient. Shannon, great to have you here today and congratulations.
Thank you, Hunter. Thrilled to be here.
You know, when you think about the economic times, the business and economic times we've been through over the past few years, it's pretty amazing. How would you characterize your leadership style in this very turbulent time?
Yeah, I think first and foremost, I'm a great collaborator and partner with the business, and I think you need to be. I think IT organizations in general have to be business centric. I know one of the first changes I made, I've been at Teradyne for about 2 years, but one of the first changes we made was actually to restructure the IT organization to be much more business centric. So having business relationship managers that are dedicated to each area of the business so that they understand exactly where each area of the business is going, and then can be a voice at their leadership table, trying to shape how we're going to make the right technology investments to build the capabilities that we need to be able to win with the organizational growth, managing through risks in partnership with the business. And that's the style I have. That's the style the rest of my team has. And we're very much one team and very much team oriented.
I love the one team idea, one team, one dream, right? One vision. When you think of talent development and culture, talk to us. What does it mean and what does it look like for you?
Yeah, I think most people describe me as a little obsessed with talent management, best practices. I've certainly, had lessons learned along my career that I always said, I would never let that happen again, meaning not hire the wrong talent for what we needed and things like that. So I would say 3 areas where I put a lot of focus. One is in recruitment, making sure that we have really robust ways to find the best possible talent to join our team. So, dividing up competencies so that as we interview as a team, we're not asking all the same questions and we have a really thorough evaluation of different candidates so we can find the best possible fit for the role. When it comes to performance management, I would say I drive my team a little nuts, but my performance reviews of each of my direct reports are no less than 7 pages long. And really the focus I have is being well-rounded in feedback, meaning it's not just about did they deliver on their goals. I talk about what are some of their biggest strengths that I see them demonstrate on a daily basis. What are their development areas? Because they're not always teased out in the goals and whether or not you hit them. I talk about opportunities that I see for them to continue to grow. I talk about threats, things outside of their control that they should be aware of so they can successfully navigate a path forward. And then I make sure that, I'm getting direct feedback. I solicit it for each one of them in terms of how do their stakeholders perceive their performance? How do their peers, measure their performance? And then how do their direct reports? Because we all have responsibilities outside of our goals to develop our talent on the team to be that next gen leader. And they really need to be measured in terms of an overall performance. So in addition to performance management, the other place where I feel like sometimes people forget to focus on it is career development. So in our IT organization, we now have formalized career development plans for everyone on the IT team. And we're talking roughly about 300 people. And it really is, a template that I've developed over the course of my career based on learning. So making sure it's really clear in that plan, what type of work do they actually find fulfilling? What kind of work do they hate to do? So that it's a good open dialogue with their manager around how to set them up for success. And what are their biggest strengths? What are their development areas? And what are their short-term, mid-term, and long-term goals? So when we distill all of that information down at the leadership team, we can connect opportunities for growth to the right people on our team and make sure that we're really growing them effectively. So I'd say those are my 3 areas of talent management that I put a lot of time and energy into.
Excellent. You're known for being a transformational catalyst. When you came to Teradyne, what was your initial mandate and how's that roadmap going? How well are you tracking against that plan?
Yeah, good question. I think there was a really good fit between what the leadership of Teradyne was looking for from their IT organization and the experience that I brought. And, there was a lot of synergies around the idea of IT really isn't meant to be a back office commodity function. Really, it's meant to be a strategic enabler of the company. So we want to think differently about IT. So I worked, first and foremost with the leadership team to co-develop with them, what is that value proposition of IT? It's different now. And it really is about working in partnership to harness the power of digital technology for a competitive advantage of a company. So creating a new value proposition, and then also having a business-centric IT strategy. So, we took a ton of time when I first got here to deep dive into exactly where the business was going to grow, how much they were going to grow, what capabilities they were going to need to build over the course of years to enable that type of growth, and then how did that translate to technology investments. And I'd say the hardest part about that was just prioritization, growth over efficiency, making sure we were taking care of the highest operational risks, and then just making sure that we could pace and sequence all of those initiatives within the right spend envelope to really set the company up for success. So, I applaud the leadership team at Teradyne, because they were open to thinking about it differently. They were open to partnering, and they have welcomed the business relationship managers to their leadership team to have a seat at the table. And that's made all the difference.
Excellent. I know you have a great relationship with the C-suite and the CEO. When you think about our industry, what would be the 1, 2, or 3 things that you've learned in your career, your amazing career, that people might benefit from hearing about how to engage with the C-suite and the CEO?
Yeah, I would say the most important way we operate as an IT organization and as a leader is around transparency and accountability. And the way we do that is implement really robust cross-functional IT governance bodies. So making sure you're taking the leadership around the business to your IT leaders, and that making sure for every dollar you have to spend on technology, you're spending it in the next possible place, that you have a stacked rank list of initiatives. So when you have resources shared across and something goes sideways, they don't have to ask, where do I need to spend my time? It's crystal clear to them because you have stacked rank priorities. And then you're always overseeing a robust map of what those investments are going to be over time, and holding yourself accountable for the delivery of them. And that model works really, really well for us.
And then developing that personal, professional relationship, how key is that?
Oh, absolutely key. And I think, it's a partnership, right? So, I think those are just parts and elements of an effective partnership.
Okay, then think about external partners, vendor partners that you're working with. How critical are exceptional vendor partners towards your roadmap, your transformational success?
I mean, they're absolutely critical. I think, with technology evolving much more towards SaaS and cloud options, your vendors and your partners are playing a larger role in how you create an operating environment for the company to be success. They are now on the critical path, and it's unavoidable. So you really want to make sure you have good strategic partnerships where, you're helping the vendor add as much value as possible, but you're also having that bi-directional communication, like how can myself or the rest of my team be a better partner to them as well, to take advantage of the benefits of the services they're offering us.
And cyber, how much time do you spend on cyber with your CISO?
A lot. And I would say, the partnership between a CIO and a CISO is one of the most critical partnerships. The risk to companies today around the evolving threat landscape is one of the top risks every company is facing. So you really need to have a really strong partnership there. You're much more board facing than you ever were. And you have to make sure you have a really robust strategy to preserve not only protecting your assets as a company, but having the resiliency in the wake of a negative event, because they're becoming much more prevalent in the industry. So, I think working in partnership, making sure you don't have any blind spots, and then making sure all of the, business and key roles in IT are delivering to that level of resiliency and protection. But it takes everyone working together.
Hey, Shannon, again, congratulations. When you think about one last parting thought, what kind of career advice would you give people?
I would say, let me first share the worst advice I ever got, Hunter. So the worst advice I ever got was, compartmentalize work and home life. And what I found is you were never your true self. And it was really hard to build deeper relationships with people. And what I've learned over the course of the years is really showing up as your authentic self. Really takes guards down. It really helps build the trust that really leads ultimately to a success. So I think being your authentic self every single day enables that trust, that those trusted partnerships that will deliver the most value as quickly as possible.
Great words to live by. Hey, congratulations again to be a 2023 HMG Global Leadership Institute recipient. Thank you so much, Shannon.
Thank you, Hunter.